MJ Movie Reviews back again with another happy Halloween horror movie review. Alright, y'all, this is coming to a close. We're almost there, but we're almost at the finish line. I decided to review a more obscure picture that's not well known. And this isn't really so much, I think, a horror picture as it's more thriller. But, you know, I saw it sitting in my DVD collection and I felt it was a perfect choice. Raising Cain. From 1992, starring John Lithgow, directed by Brian De Palma. Oh man, this is an interesting little flick, Raising Cain here. This poster. Some background, as usual. I remember my parents took me and my cousin to Universal Studios in the early 90s. I think it was 1991. Actually, the summer of Terminator 2. And I still remember Universal Studios had a bunch of these posters of John Lithgow here and all the movies that were coming out. This was like plastered all over the park. Or I think it might have been at the front entrance, but I still remember this picture here. Cool little picture. I wish they still kept the original cover art, but I'd go on about that all day. This is an interesting little thriller. The plot is a little bit hard to describe, so I don't want to give anything away, but I just say that it's a psychological suspense thriller. That's just the best way I can describe it. But, you know, Brian De Palma has done films like Carlito's Way, Scarface, Body Double, Dressed to Kill. And I think Dressed to Kill is the perfect reference for this film, along with Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, because we all know that Brian De Palma, especially in Dressed to Kill, Blowout, a couple of other movies, Body Double 2, is that he really does a lot of shout-outs to Alfred Hitchcock. Some people could call it stealing, in the words of John Carpenter. But, lot of homages. And really, this, although Dressed to Kill was almost kind of a rip-off of Psycho, just kind of done a little bit differently with Brian De Palma's take. This is almost a continuation of kind of that idea of Dressed to Kill. And he uses a lot of the same filming techniques and style that he used in Dressed to Kill. He uses that again here. I guess that's what I want to talk about first, is the style of the film. The film is really like a lot of Brian De Palma's films, especially when he does the thriller, psychological, suspense kind of genre. It's not told flatly from A to Z. It's a pretty, how do I call it? It is a complex story once you get into the psychological angle of it. But it's really told in kind of a, you have to piece it together kind of way. So almost like, alright, like the movie Memento, right? Like Guy Pearce, digressing. That film is kind of told out of order, and then you got to put the pieces together on your own. That's how Raising Cain is told. The film is told, now, I don't know if that was actually by Brian De Palma's choice, because I have heard that Universal kind of fooled around with the movie a little bit, so I don't know if this is actually the way he intended the movie to be. But as it fits, I'm actually perfectly fine with, you know, there's times when, you know, you see the same situation from different characters' points of views, and then you kind of go back later and you go, or a character or re-say a certain event again, told to, I mean, there's all sorts of different angles. Everybody in this movie also has a secret too. That's the other cool thing about Raising Cain, is the main character played by John Lithgow and his wife played by the beautiful Lolita Davidovich, and I still think that woman is fine now. I mean, they both have secrets. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. This movie deals with split personality, right? So it's almost like their marriage is almost a split personality, because there's this facade of their marriage. Oh, this perfect couple, they got the baby. But underneath, you know, he's got his issues, and she's got her issues, her secrets. So everybody has secrets. Everybody's kind of two-timing each other in one way or another, but in a real slick about it way. And I love how, as the movie unfolds and you're constantly finding out who people really are underneath, who's the other person in their psyche, who they're pretending to be for the world. It's a trip, man. It's really an interesting movie. And I'll just give it away because this movie is already 20-something years old. But okay, spoilers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. You find out, okay, John Lithgow has split personality. But what's really cool about the movie is now I would have think a more interesting interpretation would have been is the way it's called Raising Cain. So one of his split personalities is Cain. Cain is really supposed to be John Lithgow's brother, right? Now, the way he first comes into the movie, it looks as if Cain is not a figment of his imagination. He looks like he's a real person. And I think if they would have kept up that persona throughout the movie and then slowly revealed that it's actually a figment of his one of his multiple personalities, I think it would have been a little bit cooler because it comes a little bit too early in the movie, I think. But still, cool idea. And John Lithgow is firing on all cylinders, man. This dude has always been a great actor. He is capable of anything. And I just saw him in The Accountant with Ben Affleck. And although I wished he could have played as evil as he played here and like in Ricochet and Cliffhanger and Blowout and some other movies, he didn't get to play that evil. He touched on it a little bit, but if John Lithgow could, before the man gets any older, if he could just make another movie like this where he plays this type of character, he's a genius. When he plays his persona of Cain, they see, and Carter is the kind of mild-mannered husband guy, right? The boring guy in their marriage, right? Him and Davidovich's marriage. But he could have on the same outfit and he seems like two totally different people. And throughout this movie, he actually plays, Carter, Cain, he plays 5 different characters. And he plays them all, they all seem different. And the other cool thing that I love about the movies is there's times within the story where he's literally changing personas within a scene. And as the viewer, you're trying to figure out, is he Cain? Is he Carter? Who is he? You know what I mean? And actually, you can see John Lithgow is such a skilled actor that you can literally see in his facial expression. Like, he'll do a facial expression, you'll be like, oh, that's Cain. And then he'll do a behavior, you're like, wait a minute, that's not Cain. Carter would do that. You know what I mean? Or like when he gets more, like there's a scene, for example, when his wife, Lolita Davidovich, looking all good, with these nice long legs and, the thigh is out and then the little saxophone music kicks in. Doo-doo-doo. And you can literally see in the scene that he's Carter. And when he takes a look at them legs, you can see he turns. And it's not Carter anymore, it's Cain. Because Cain wants to go knock it out, right? And I'm just like, oh, this is... I didn't catch that until I rewatched it again. But very skilled acting here. Stephen Bauer himself, Tony Montana's boy from Scarface, he pops up again. Man, he plays a sucker in this movie, man. He's basically... the guy who Lolita Davidovich, her secret is that she's having an affair outside of marriage with... one of her patients' husbands who passed away, and the guy was having trouble getting over it, and I guess it's implied in the movie that she met this dude before she got with John Lithgow, and I guess because of the situation, she died in the hospital, that they kind of got this link because of the heavy situation. Digressing, I work in a hospital. Now, I don't know if that really is true, that if you're in these real horrific situations, you become attracted to people. I don't know if that's true. I haven't had that experience because I've experienced some colds before in real life, so I don't know. Digressing back to Raising Cain, just wanted to throw that in. But yeah, he just plays a sucker in this movie, man. I hate his character, man. And there's a point in the movie where John Lithgow figures out a way to screw him over. And as much as I hate to admit it, I was with John Lithgow's character all the way, man, when he started screwing him over. I was like, man, get this dude, man. This dude is a punk, man. That's just the way I felt about it. But, and the other thing about it, along with just kind of the characters' motivations and who's who and the timeline and switching things back and forth, we got all the homages to Psycho. You know what I mean? This really owes heavy homage to Psycho, pushing the car into the water. Obviously, you have the one long obligatory scene where you explain the depth of the personality disorders, basically explaining the whole story, taken right out of Psycho. And then there's really cool things that they do. Like, I love how Brian De Palma really throws in these shocking scares. He'll do things with, like, of course, long camera angles. Or, like, one scene in particular, like, there's two that I can think of right off rip that are really scary. There's one scene where you think he's killed this girl, right? And I don't want to give away the whole story for those of y'all who haven't seen it. But either way, there's a camera that's facing in this bedroom, and he's watching the news thinking he's killed this girl. He cuts the news off, and it pops back to the camera that's in this room, and you see the girl's face on there, and she pops out, but it catches you off guard, and it's like, whoa. And there's also a scene where another girl was murdered, and the coroner goes, you ought to see her facial expression, rip that sheet off, and she has this look that, it looks silly, but it's kind of chilling. And I'll bring up one more gag. One more gag is where Stephen Bauer and Lolita Davidovich are in the hospital room and they're hugging each other. They're in this warm embrace, and the guy's wife is sick on the bedroom, and her back is turned. You look in the background, that's obligatory. What I was talking about, that John Carpenter-esque shot with the blurry background and the foreground, and all you see is this arm slowly move, and he can see her face staring at the two of them on the reflection of the TV. Chilling scene. Now, it's not scary because the woman is not a threat, but it's just creepy looking, man. It's just very well done. And, you know, Brian De Palma does a lot of that stuff in the movie where he tricks you, and it's just really cool stuff. And he really plays with the camera a lot. You know, I like how there's a scene where John Lithgow is changing personalities, right? So literally he goes, I'm just going to go, and he's going to turn into Cain, right? So the camera follows him this way, and you obviously see he hasn't left, so there's an empty space. Camera comes back, and he's Cain. You know, it's just really cool stuff like that, man. It's a fantastic movie. If there's only one place that the film falters, I feel it's the finale. The finale, I kind of feel is the finale. I felt was anticlimactic, and I really wasn't particularly satisfied with the ending. And in particular the way I wish John Malkovich. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. John Lithgow's character of Carter, I wish he would have played more of a role, because I kind of felt like Carter is a character who needed a little bit more redemption. And his character, because his character is not a bad guy. He's got multiple personalities, so he's screwed up. And I kind of felt if Carter would have been able to fight the other personalities within himself and his father, who's really the ultimate villain of the piece, I think it kind of... It would have felt a little bit more satisfying to me, because you feel like Carter's a victim. You know what I mean? Once you guys see the movie for yourselves. But and also the cool thing about it is John Lithgow plays his father in the movie, the father of the character of Carter. And this dude is such a good actor that I literally watched it. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but to watch it again, I was thinking, why isn't Carter like actually facing off with his dad? And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, it's played by John Lithgow. And this is back in the day before the effects were like really, really cool. It was like, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme double impact kind of special effects. If you guys watch scenes from that movie where Jean-Claude Van Damme is sitting next to each other digressing, it looks really bad. But this was back in the days, you know, this was before like now when you can do that stuff, where you could do, you know, Keanu Reeves' Matrix with 50,000 guys. You know, but in these days, you couldn't do it, you know. But he's such a good actor that I was convinced that the old father version was a different actor. That's how good of an actor John Lithgow is. But this is a very tight thriller, very well done, interesting story, complex characters. I really like this film. I really enjoy it a lot. Just takeaway points for that lackluster finale, but it's fun little suspense thriller. And if you guys like suspense thrillers, that's not traditional horror, but you know, you got to think a little bit and put the pieces together and really pay attention to characters' behaviors. And there's all kind of subtext and little subtle things going on within scenes at once. Check out Raising Cain. So that's my review. Go check it out, guys. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and leave comments down below about Raising Cain. John Lithgow before Third Rock from the Sun. Let's just talk movie, guys, and I'm going to come back with some more Halloween movie reviews. I'll see you soon.